What is going on YouTube? This is Superiority Without a Complex, and in today's video I bring you my shiny speculations for the 6 so far confirmed new forms and Pokemon in the Pokemon Sun Shield Crown Tundra DLC. Now I'm sure many of you like myself are really looking forward to hunting for these things and getting them after one encounter using some game code, or GameStop if you're in the US. But anyway, that's another topic in itself, so without further ado, let's get on with the shiny speculations. Okay, so first up we have the speculation for Galarian Articuno. Now, looking at this thing in its ordinary form, the first thing that strikes you is that the way it uses its wings almost resembles Bylestyle or Oricorio from Alola. Now, given that this thing has red wings, I thought, well, how about we transfer that colour onto the Galarian Articuno, which looks exceptionally good and creates a really nice effect. But more than that, I also decided that I wanted to change the other colours, so I decided to go for a colour flip and change the black parts for the whites and swap them. Now, at this point we were already looking at a really good shiny, but what it really needed, I felt, to cap it off was a change of the last colour on the body that hadn't changed, which were the eyes. So I changed them from a blue to a nice bright yellow just to complement the other colours on the design. As for Galarian Zapdos, next up on my shiny speculation list, I initially tried something that didn't work on this thing, which was a Poipole style shiny, which I see on screen, where I had the white and gold colour contrast. Now, I just looking at this felt as though it was just a bit too bland. There wasn't really enough contrast between the colours to make this thing really stand out. And so I decided to go with a variant on the usual sort of black and yellow shiny, which, as has been seen with Naganadel, works incredibly well and produces a very good shiny. But I didn't just want to completely rip off my shinies from that line. You can see a common theme occurring here, like that particular shiny line. So I decided to change the black shade a little to more of a dark plum, and I think this creates a really nice effect. However, also, just that the claws were really standing out, I decided to go with another bold colour change and make them orange, which I think really rounds this thing off into a nice shiny. It's very, very bold, the kind of shiny that we don't really see often enough, arguably. But this thing, I think, has a really nice effect and has so much more vibrance and life to it and contrast than the initial effort. Now, on to the last of the Galarian bird trio, Moltres. So this thing really, I felt, lended itself to a different strategy to the Zapdos shiny that I made, which I felt was to have more complementary colours. So initially, I decided to add a nice purple to go along with the red colour of the fire. Although, apparently, according to Game Freak, it's not fire, but tell me what else it looks like. But either way, so I looked at this shiny and thought, well, it's a really nice, subtle shiny, noticeable but subtle, although I still felt it was missing something. So I decided, why not make a nod to the original Moltres and the original flame colour? So I decided to add orange flames, and this thing produces a really nice overall effect without sacrificing the complementary colour strategy. Okay, so with all of the Galarian birds done, it was time to think about the new Regi, the first new Regi Pokemon since Gen 4 and Regigigas. So, I begin with Regidrago, the Dragon-type Regi Pokemon. Now, looking at this thing's Dex entry, it was confirmed to have been produced using dragon crystals, so it was described. Now that immediately got me thinking of a couple of things. One, the Crystallonics from the anime. Two, it got me thinking about Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, Explorers of Time, Darkness and Sky. Now I played so much of those games as a kid and I have very, very fond memories of them, as many people do, I'm sure. Now, it got me thinking of a specific dungeon in those games, being Crystal Cave, in which there was the crystals at the end of the dungeon, which you had to align in a certain colour to get through to the next dungeon, being a Crystal Crossing. Now, in light of that, I decided that shiny Regidrago should have a combination of the colours on those crystals and on Crystal Onyx. So I decided to combine this nice sort of burnished red colour, similar to the one that I used for Galarian Articuno, with this bright turquoise colour. And I think it produces a really nice effect overall, as well as having a really cool story and inspiration behind it, I think. But also, I decided to change everything on the shiny on this occasion, as has been commonplace in this video. So I changed the eyes on the front of this Pokemon to yellow instead of blue, and that rounds off what I think is a really nice looking shiny overall. Okay, so continuing on the theme of the Regis, we now have the electric type new Regi, Regieleki, or better known as Cash Register Electric. So for this thing, I decided to go with a less garish colour strategy, with an overall white and grey effect. But for the highlights, I decided to be a little bit more adventurous, and inspired by the Chargestone Cave rocks from Unova, I decided to really accentuate the blue colours on the highlights. As for the eyes, I was going to go for yellow again, but then realised this was too similar to Regidrago, so I decided to change it to something a bit more in keeping with the accentuated blue highlights, and went with purple eyes overall for what looks like a really nice shiny. Okay, so lastly we have Calyrex. Now Calyrex is very much described in its text entry as a monarch, the monarch of the Galar region. Now, if we look at its design, it appears to be based on a number of things. It appears to be based on Thistle, national symbol of Scotland. It also appears to be based on the Scottish Holy Rood. It also has the colours of the Order of the Thistle, which is the colours of the garb worn by members of the British royal family when they attend Holyrood Castle in Edinburgh. So really everything about this Pokemon screams royal. So I gave it a regal shiny to fit that theme. And as you can see, it's very much based upon a crown, to signify the crown Tundra, with a really nice overall gold colour instead of the green, accentuated blue, and also, just to finish it off, a bit of rose gold. This thing certainly has a very regal look about it. Okay, so that is going to be all for the shiny speculations today. A lot of incredible shiny designs showcased today. Let me know which one was your favourite in the comment section below. In any case, that is going to be all for today's video. Please make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of my future content. And with that, I've been Superiority Rhino Complex. Hope you're having an amazing day, and peace out.